Thank you for boarding Good Pod Guide flight GPG 6084. My name's Lauren Windle and I'll be your captain today. We're embarking on a short journey to help you find your next favourite podcast. Don't forget to strap in. I'm historically not a big fan of these interview talk show TV shows. You know, people like Jonathan Ross, James Corden, Jimmy Fallon. I think you can get to a point where you start to ask yourself, like, are they more interested in the person they're interviewing or just in themselves, the interviewer? I have never, however, watched Conan O'Brien, and I wonder if he would be able to turn it round for me. I have listened to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, which is today's podcast. It is a chat show podcast from the eponymous American comedian and talk show host. Each show starts with the celebrity interviewee saying how they feel about the prospect of being Conan's friend. One of the most notable things about this, and for me its strength, is that these are not just A-list celebrities. These are like the biggest names. They are huge. He has had Michelle Obama, Will Ferrell, Adam Sandler, Ricky Gervais, Jim Carrey, Tom Hanks, Amy Schumer. I just feel like no one is too famous to feature on this podcast, which I guess is not surprising given that Conan has been doing this job for like more than 30 years. So he'll have a pretty decent little black berg. It's also genuinely funny, which is hard to find in these podcasts. At times he reads out these ads, which, you know, he has to do because that is part of how he gets paid for this podcast. But he refers to these segments as Conan O'Brien pays off the mortgage on his beach house. And I quite enjoy that level of transparency. I listened to the interview with Russell Brand, which I loved, but that is massively because I enjoy Russell Brand's humour. I also enjoyed the story where Dave Grohl shared that he had gone into hospital for overdosing on coffee, which is, you know, starts off as the most rock and roll sentence you've ever heard and finishes pretty much as the least. But it was a great anecdote. There are around 130 episodes. Some of them are like 30 minutes, but on the whole, they run for a full hour. I was starting to think that there was no point reviewing these celebs interview their celeb mates podcasts because they can get a bit samey. And whether you enjoy them or not kind of depends on your level of interest in the subject of the interview. But actually, the tone here is very good. It's funnier than others. I think Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend is to celebrity interview podcasts what Graham Norton is to British chat shows. He just does it a little bit better. In the next episode, I confuse British comedians Ed Gamble and Ed Byrne, and I wax lyrical about my love for James Acaster. We've put all you need to know about the show on our website, www.goodpodguide.com. So go and check it out, and you can also follow us at Good Pod Guide on Instagram and Twitter.